Hello, hello, my lovely Year 6 designers. We're going to be making one of these today. It's a mock-up of your operation game. It doesn't really work. It's just so you've got a little working model to, again, help you visualise how these broken circuit toys work. So to make our model, we're going to use the following materials. We're going to need a little piece of black card, some tin foil roughly 15 centimetres across and 20 centimetres high, a piece of A4 coloured card, one of these worksheets that I've done for you, and you're going to need a craft knife and some pens and some string and some glue, maybe double-sided tape, pencil, scissor, and a tape dispenser. Oh, and always a cutting mat. So the first job is you just cut out your little operation person here. It's usually shown as a man, but in the games we played yesterday, it could be anything, couldn't it? But for our purposes, it's going to be man. Then I'm going to cut out these tweezers, but I'm just cutting around the box. There's a shaped box there. Make sure you keep all these little bits. I'm just roughly cutting everything out and putting it in a pile. So I've got it there. So I've just cut out this tweezers just around the box, not around the actual tweezers. And what I'm going to do is get a bit of the black card, put some glue on the back, and then stick it down. I'm doing that first because I want to give it some time to dry, because it will be easier to cut out when it's dry, because we're going to cut around those tweezers shapes. Okay, so once we've done that, we can start constructing the board. So you get your piece of tin foil, and as I say, it just roughly needs to be 15 by 20 centimetres, and you're going to stick it down. I'm using double-sided tape for this. You might want to use glue. It's up to you designers. You decide what material is best for attaching, and you're just going to stick it down pretty well in the centre of your piece of A4 coloured card. And again, it doesn't matter what colour this card is. It's not important at all, as long as you can write on it. So you don't want black card for that. Okay, so now we're going to cut out all our other bits. And what's important on this one is we're going to need to cut out all the little shapes that's inside. And this is why you've got your cutting board and your knife. Please remember about how we use our knives. We keep our hands well away. Our hand needs to be kept to the side of where we're cutting, never in front of where we're cutting. And you keep twisting the piece of paper around so that you're not cutting backwards or away from you or anything like that. Just take your time and slowly cut out all these shapes. So we've got a love heart and a couple of bones. We've got a stomach and a brain. And the idea is we're just making a replica of the game, the operation game. So the next stage is to add this to our foil. The foil is representing the metal plate that it lays on, and you just need to get a bit of tape or a bit of glue. Again, it's up to you what you use. I'm using a bit of PVA this time, and you don't need to put it all over. Make sure you don't put it in the gaps, but just get a little bit of glue over the key areas so it's going to hold it down, and just lay it onto your foil. So that's our basic board shape ready. So now we're ready to start cutting out all the other component parts of it. So if you remember, we've got our diagram to help us, and we've got our sketch to help us. So we're just going to start cutting those out. We've got a light bulb to put on there. We've got a battery, of course, because it won't work without any power. And then we've got the buzzer. And we're going to have great fun when we build these for real for ourselves, aren't we? With buzzers and lights and things. It's going to be great. So we get it all cut out, and we're just going to mount it on. Now, instead of drawing on lines like you were doing in your sketches and your diagram, we're going to use some string to represent the wire, because I want you to attach the tweezers to something so you can actually move it. So again, you can really visualize how this works. It doesn't really matter what color we use. So I'm using a red pen to draw on the wires joining the different components, and then I'm just stopping because then I'm going to add my components on. Bit of glue, bit of double-sided tape, whatever it is you prefer to use. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my piece of thread or string, whatever you've got. And I just want to line it up with the wire that I've drawn on. So it connects onto there like that. And then that is a nice floppy bit of string that we can attach our tweezers to. I probably cut that too big actually, cut that bit more off. Just roughly do it so you know that you can move it around, that's fine. So now we've left our tweezers to dry for a little bit, we can cut those out. It doesn't need to be absolutely bone dry, but it just helps, it stops it from being too soft to cut out. We just cut out that shape and we're going to attach it to the back. So I'm just going to get a bit of tape with my thread, put it on the back, and you can either wrap the tape around or you can do what I'm doing, just trim off any sides. And then we've got our tweezers attached, so we get the idea of the game. And of course, nothing's going to happen because we haven't got real components, but it just means that, again, when we come to construct and build our own circuits and broken circuit games, we will really be able to understand how it works. So you can add these headings, you can add this box here with saying who the designer is, so you've got this. And I want you to keep this model and the diagrams that you drew the other day, the diagram and the sketch, really safe, because next half term is going to be all about designing the visuals and designing the game itself. And I want you to keep these so you've got these to refer to and you will have no problem in constructing your own version of this game. Right, everybody, I hope you've had fun with this project and we'll be carrying it on next half term. Take care. Bye.